Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this content, I hope you'll subscribe. So today we're going to talk about how my market went on this past Saturday. The market was called the Christmas Jubilee, and it was a all-day vendor event from 9 to 6. And at 6 o'clock was the parade. And we did have the option of staying till after the parade, but by the time 6 o'clock comes around, I am done. I don't want to endure anymore. I'm pretty wiped out by then. It started off really slow. I didn't actually get my first sale until I think it was 10:30. And so I was joking with the guy next to me. I was like, well, if this is how it's going to be a long, slow day. And I had taken a skein of regular number 4 worsted weight yarn with me to start a small blanket, and I was expecting to maybe finish the skein by the end of the day, but probably not is what I was thinking. I had that skein finished in no time. It was just because the morning was so slow, and I was just sitting there doing that crochet for 2 hours with hardly any customers. And so I really got a jump head start on it that morning. Okay, I had to go and get my little book of what I sold. I forgot to bring it in with me. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right on in and see how it went. I'm going to have to put my old lady glasses on. I'm just not prepared today. Not on the ball today. Okay. So, first thing I sold was a scrubby set for $10. And then this man came in and I was like, so who are you looking to buy for? Because it was very, I have to say, it is unusual to have a man in my booth. Not super unusual, but definitely a little unusual, especially without a wife or kids in tow. So just a random man in my booth, it was like, must be buying for somebody. And so yes, he turns out he was looking for something for his daughter for Christmas. And he ended up picking up the Highland cow for $25. So that sold really quickly. Here I am. I gotta make another one. Alright, and then I sold a frog for $5, a bee for $10, a ball, a Christmas ball for $5, a small snake for $10, a chicken for $18, and a scrubby set for $10. And then her friend bought the exact same thing, a chicken for $18 and a scrubby set for $10. And then that was like in an hour. It really didn't pick up until 10:30, and then within the hour I was already had a whole lot of sales. And then I sold a dragon. This little girl came in, and her grandmother was like, you get what you want. And she picked up that dragon. And her grandmother looked at the price, tried to talk her into anything else. Anything else. She was picking things up and saying, oh, how cute is this? And how cute is that? You know, no, that little girl wanted that dragon, and that was it. And so that is what she got. Grandma bought the $45 dragon. And then I sold 2 frogs for $5 each, 1 Christmas ball for $5, 1 Easy Cat for $12, 1 small turtle for $15, 1 scrubby set for $10, 1 rose for $10, 1 lizard for $15, 1 small caterpillar for $12, 1 frog for $5, 1 washcloth for $8, 1 Grinch for $25, and we have to turn the page. 1 possum for $15, 1 loaf cat for $15, 1 Santa for $25, 1 frog for $5, 2 small sea turtles for $15 a piece, 1 armadillo for $20, 1 possum for $15, and 1 small beer stein for $10. And now we're at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 1 rose for $10, 1 octo for $20, 1 whale for $10, 1 sea turtle for $30, 1 small tiny sea turtle for $10, 1 baby chick for $8. So it really slowed down in between 2 and 3:30. I had 6 sales in an hour and a half. So it had really slowed down for the midday. And then 1 more hour. 1 frog for $5. 1 octo for $12. 1 easy cat for $12. 5 Christmas balls for $20. I told her, I said, if you buy 4, I'll throw in 1 for free. So she did. So I sold 5 balls, Christmas balls, for $20. 1 rose for $10. 1 sea turtle for $15. And now we're at 4:30 already. 1 baby chick for $8. 1 scrubby for $10. 1 mushroom for $8. 1 land turtle for $30. 1 sea turtle for $15. 1 football for $5. 1 Santa for $25. 1 pig for $15. 1 land turtle for $30. 1 small snake for $10. 1 octo for $12. And 1 loaf cat for $15. Woo! That was a lot. That was 60 items. 60! That was a lot. It was well worth it. It was a good market. Although I did see a lot of $5 items on here. But hey, you gotta have those smaller priced ones for the people who just They want to buy something, but they don't want to spend a lot of money. Okay, so it costed me $55 for the booth fee and the permit fee. And I had predicted that I was going to make about $600, and I ended up making $783. $328 of that was square. I'll get to that in a minute. That was a laugh for a reason. And $455 in cash. And I ended up paying hubby $110. So my profit for the day was $618. $18 more than I was expecting. So that was turned out to be a really great day. 60 items sold, and of course my Christmas balls were the top sellers, as well as the tiny frogs. I had 7 balls and 6 frogs and 5 scrubbies and 5 small sea turtles. Those were my top hits for the day, which of course the small balls are $5 each, the tiny frogs were $5 each, the scrubbies were $10 each, and the small little sea turtles were $15. And I did not spend any money all day long. Okay, let's get to my laugh. I had a little laugh in there talking about that square. So I got the notification on my phone that I was about to run out of data, right? And yes, we're still old school around here. We buy the cheapest plan possible. And I usually don't use up all of my plan for the month, you know. And I ignored this message. I didn't really see any value in telling me I was almost out because I never usually run out. So naturally, at my event, it ran out. This lady wanted a sea turtle, and she's like, "Can you hold it for me? I'll be right back." And sure enough, she came back, but by the time she came back, my phone wasn't working. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. I can't get any internet service, you know. And I'm just freaking out a little bit, you know, personally. I'm freaking out. And I'm trying to be calm, you know, but I told her I just can't get it to work, you know. And she goes, "Well, let me go find my mom and I'll go get some money, you know, some cash." Okay. And I called hubby up and I said, "Can you bring me your phone?" Because I knew he had a lot of time on his phone. He never even uses a little tiny bit of his service plan. And so he brought me his phone and I loaded Square onto it after figuring it out. His is an iPhone, mine's an Android, and I don't know why, but I do not like iPhones. They seem to be extra complicated to me, they do. But anyway, he brought me his phone and I managed to get it working. I only lost 2 sales. I had this little display that I had made just last week with the eyes on it to show people what the eyes look like and the how secure they are, you know, and also a little baggie of what the stuffing looks like, because I get that question quite often about what's it stuffed with. And so anyway, I just flipped it over and wrote cash only on it. So, and people were coming into my booth and I'm tapping the sign. Oh, you know. And so, yeah, I did lose 2 sales because it was cash only. And then that lady, she came back and I was still trying to get the iPhone loaded, you know, and ready to use. And she hands me her card and I'm like looking at his phone. It has no tap to pay. And I'm like, oh crap. So I had to go and do it manually, and the buttons on his phone are so much smaller, and I kept messing it up. And then it was an American Express, which has a different it has 4 digits instead of 3 for the code, and I kept messing it up. Man, that woman, she was so patient with me, but I was getting so flustered. I was like, whew. By the time she left my booth, I had to sit down just to collect myself because I was freaking out a little bit. Having myself my own little tiny panic attack, you know. And so anyway, it was frustrating as heck. Well, I guarantee you next time it tells me I'm almost out of time or almost out of data, I'm going to pay attention to that because, oh my goodness, I don't want that to happen anymore. That was freaky. I see the lights are dimming and going up and going down. It's because the sun is freaking out there. So we got a lot of cloud cover. Anyway, that was the interesting part of the day, was trying to get hubby's phone to work for me, and then of course having to type in the little pad was like too little bitty, and my big old fat sausages were hitting all the wrong numbers. Oh, so fun times. It's always something, right? It did sprinkle just a little tiny bit early in the morning, around 9:30. It sprinkled a little bit. And then it was beautiful for the rest of the day. Thank goodness. I told hubby, I was like, I wonder how many times it has rained on me this year. Because it feels like every single Saturday this year has had some kind of chance of rain on it. And it's always just a Saturday. It's all week long. It's pretty weather. And then Saturday, rain. It's like, come on. Give me a break here. But we need the rain, so I better quit complaining. I live in Texas. It's pretty dry down here. Alright. So, let's see. Oh, and the museum lady stopped by my booth and told me they only have 4 items left. 1 Triceratops and 3 T-Rexes. That's all they had left out of the 13 that I brought her. So I dropped by yesterday and dropped off my new woolly mammoth. And the guy that runs the shop entrance, he's there both times that I went there, he was there. And he is so fun. He's the kind of guy I could hang out with. You know, he's fun. But he holds up this little tiny dinosaur. He goes, "Oh, I purchased one of your little dinosaurs." And I would look at it and I said, "Honey, that's not mine." Apparently, they started another crocheter from a town, a couple of towns away, is putting stuff in their shop, and it's little bitty teeny tiny dinosaurs. And yeah, I didn't tell him I think those are crocheted too loosely for the size of eyes that she used, but you know, I felt like telling him that. I was like, oh, that's such a risk. Those are too tiny for those big fat stitches. But how do you approach something like that without putting out the air that you are a know-it-all or so? I don't want to be stepping on somebody's toes, but I don't want them to have to be liable for an injury. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. I got that word from Sue. No, I'm just kidding. She used it twice the other day, and I was like, oh, that's a word I haven't heard in a while. Now it's stuck in my head. If you haven't seen Sue, go over to Crafty Sue on YouTube. She was fun. Alright. I think that's it. I've started. Oh, no, that's not it. No. That's not it. Today, my Highland pattern is out for sale. I published it this morning, so get on over there and get your pattern. I'll put the link down in the description below. That was a fun pattern, and it went together pretty quickly, even though I had to make like 4 of them in order to get it just right. So you'll have to run over there and get your pattern. And what else? That was the most exciting part I had to say. My pattern's out. The next pattern to come out is the mammoth. And yes, I did put ears and tail on it. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be ready to be published until probably next Tuesday. But we'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll get some major work done here lately. Kind of hard with the holidays looming pretty close. I did want to say I have, after the mammoth pattern goes out, that will be 16 patterns for the year, which is pretty good. I mean, I always want to shoot for a goal of 12 patterns a year, so 16 is pretty good. I'm happy with it. I hope you are too. Next time we talk, I'll talk about what I have in plans for next year. I have some plans for next year that'll hopefully make things a little better for me and for you. So we'll see. Alright, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.